That's a bit slow. Hello. Welcome to Clarity with Leah, Slow Flow Sundays. We're starting laying down today. I'm going to change this music. Although it's relaxing, this will be better for the end of class. It's a good old yoga time. All right, yes. This playlist was made by one of my granny sitters. Go ahead and close this door. Did I turn this on? Yay. Okay. So go ahead and bend your knees so you can feel the placement of your pelvis as you lay on your back. And if you have a hair thing in, you might want to move it out of the way so the back of your head connects to the floor. So your feet are flat on the floor. And your hands can be whatever feels good to you. If you want to just place your hands down by your side, or if you want to place them over your belly. It's a good idea if you're new to this practice to keep them over your low belly so that you can feel the work as it happens. And we'll just take a few moments here and kind of settle in. Witnessing the breath first. Notice what your breath is doing right now without forcing it. And now I want you to start to really tune into the exhale. Letting it really kind of completing it without pressure. We're going to take pressure in a second, but go ahead and just hang on to that exhale for a little bit longer than you have been. And notice what that feels like. It may feel a little uncomfortable. Start to feel like your belly is sinking in towards your spine, and your spine is sinking in towards the floor without taking any effort for a second. And then inhale. And then hold that exhale, linger in it, letting it kind of soften into your belly, sinking down. And when you feel like you can't exhale anymore, then let that inhale happen. And now we're going to start to really complete the exhale by pressing through the low belly. So on your exhale, start to gather in the pelvic floor a little bit and start to firm the low belly as you press the underneath the diaphragm to push it up. What starts to happen when you do that is your pelvis will start to tilt. So as you inhale, relax everything, soften all the muscles, get lots of space, let the diaphragm have room to move down. Then as you exhale, you start to pull from the bottom up. Pelvic floor starts to firm up, low belly firms up, and your pubic bone will start to pull just slightly like it's trying to reach towards the navel. It'll take your spine into alignment, and it'll firm up the low belly to exhale completely. Inhale. Take it at your own pace. You don't have to be breathing with my cues because I want you to really feel into where that exhale can hold the longest. And then I really want you to focus on that low belly firming with the exhales. So as we move throughout our practice today and some of the flows that we'll be doing, there's going to be some effort involved. But so the exhales won't be as long because as your body starts to exert effort, your breath gets shallower. But the belly needs to firm on every exhale. So really noticing that firming of the belly. This protects the low back. It helps strengthen your core, and it just creates a better sense of cohesiveness to your yoga movement. So kind of noticing how that feels, making it the normal for now. Also, breathing through your nose, if you're not having allergy issues, is a good idea. And then kind of on the exhale, feeling that breath in the back of your throat. Now we're going to take our feet just a little bit wider than the hips. And let your knees go from one side to the other, about halfway down. Don't go very far. Keeping the belly firm, especially on the exhales, and go nice and slow. And you don't have to move with the breath, but just continue to be conscious of your breath and firming your belly on your exhales. We're just kind of moving the hip joints a little bit and rolling across the back of the low back. The back of the low back, whatever. You know what I mean. Take your time. Knees go to one side, and the knees go to the other side. Take one more full round of breath. Then return to the center. And we'll take a little pause. Between all of our movements, we take a pause so that you can take a moment and feel how it feels in your body after the movement. So noticing places like the hip joints, the low back across the sacrum, the pelvis, and your belly. Okay, now gently, we're going to come up to our 4-point stance position. I always like to use my folded blanket under my knees, but you can also put it under your wrists, or you can do one of each if you'd like. Taking your knees generally underneath your hips and your wrists generally underneath the shoulders. The tops of the feet are flat on the floor behind you. Inhale here, soften the belly, open, make lots of space. Exhale, feel that firming. Pelvic floor, low belly, and the pubic bone pulls up towards the navel. Once you get that all firmed, you're going to keep it firm in this position. So your spine is nice and long. As you inhale here, keeping the pelvis in position, open, make space in the rib cage. Exhale, feel a gather of the ribs as they funnel down towards the navel. Keeping the scapula pulling down your back. Keeps your shoulders out of your ears. Fingers are nice and wide. And your gaze can be towards the edge of your mat. So we don't want any crinkles in the back of our necks. No hot dog neck. That's what I call my dog when I shave her. Can't even tell she's fat till you shave all her fur. So make sure when you exhale, you're taking that pubic bone and pulling it slightly towards the navel so that the tailbone goes nice and long, and we have this spine that goes all the way from the tailbone out through the crown of the head. Remembering, open, make space in the rib cage on your inhales, and exhale, feel that gather together of the ribs pulling down into the navel. On your next inhale, lift your head, lift your chest, don't move the pelvis. You might shift forward slightly into the fingertips. Exhale, we're going to slide backwards, take your elbows down, take your hips over your heels, lower your forehead. On your inhale, rise back up. Keep your pelvis in position. Exhale all the way back. Taking your elbows down, hips come down, forehead lowers. And it's okay if it doesn't come as far down as I'm going. Inhale to lift back up, making sure that your pelvis stays in alignment. Lift the head, lift the chest. Exhale, slide it back down. Belly has to stay firm the whole time. Inhale, rise. Space in the rib cage. Exhale, ribs funnel together. Belly firms. One more time. Inhale, rise. Very good. Exhale all the way back down. And we're going to hold here for just a moment for our pause, unless it is just awful for you and you do not have to stay in child's pose. If it feels better to sit up, that's fine. Soften through the belly, relax the muscles, and notice how it feels in your spine, your head, your shoulders, your hands. All right, we're going to come up to standing. Take your time. Inhaling on the way up. Adjust everything you need to adjust. I know how it is. All right, now I'm taking a moment here. We're going to, bounce. So just come up onto your toes. Just bring your heels off the ground, basically, and bounce a little bit, like a rebounding. Let your hands hang heavy. Let your shoulders kind of soften and loosen. It's good for the lymphatic system. Now we're going to go side to side. So you can take some space between your feet. Go side to side a little bit. And then we're going to add a little bit of a twisty move. So you're going to find one side and the other side. Let your arms just have some centrifugal force. So no effort here. Then you can kind of stop and take the bounce out. Just flow one way. Let your hands fly. Relaxing. Oh, there goes that. Okay, sweater's cute now. That's all right. It was cute. Come back to center. And close your eyes, or just look down. If closing your eyes while standing is uncomfortable, don't. Nobody falls down today. Don't do that. But notice how your body feels after all of that. So you can feel the flow of energy. Maybe you notice it in your hands and feet. Maybe you can feel it in your back or your arms and legs. Just noticing where you feel that flow. It'll feel like heat or electricity, sparkles, or buzzing. And now start to notice how your body is not still. I know you're standing still, but are you? Your body is constantly making little tiny adjustments to stop you from falling down. It literally works nonstop to keep you upright. So let's bring some awareness to that, some gratitude. Maybe your leg muscles tighten. Maybe you can feel it in your core. Definitely happening in the spine, in the neck. Oh, bring your hands to your heart center. One hand is over the other, and open your eyes. And what I want you to do is notice which hand is on top, because we're going to switch them back and forth. Soften your knees, bringing that awareness back into the exhale. We switched positions, so continuing to notice the exhale, continuing to gather the belly. Now on your next inhale, open your hands, lift the sternum. Lift the eye gaze to look up. As you exhale, bring the hands back to your heart. Firm the low belly and switch your hands. Inhale, open, lift. Exhale, bring it back in. Switch hands. Inhale, feel your scapula pull together behind you to lift your chest open. And then exhale back in. And you could be going at a different rate than I'm going, faster or slower. Don't go too much faster. Slow flow Sunday. Inhale, open, lift, eye gaze lifts, spirits lift, all the way back in, switching hands on each one. Takes some brain concentration. One more time. Finish whatever round you're on. Bring your hands to your heart center. And then notice your heartbeat. And now let your hands come down by your side and notice how that feels. Okay, we're going to do it again. This time we're going to add the lift. So bring your hands back to your heart, and you know what to do. But this time, if you're feeling it, come off of your heels and onto your toes. You don't even have to come all the way up. You can just lean forward and kind of put the weight over your toes with your inhales. Okay? So exhaling. On your next inhale, open. Lift the eyes. Maybe lift the heels. Exhale all the way back down. Switch hands. Inhale, maybe you just shift your weight forward. Exhale all the way back in. On your inhale, maybe you want to take your heels just a little off the floor. Ooh. Exhaling back in. Last one. Go for it. As high as you can get. And exhale all the way back in. Very nice. Take a moment. Notice how it feels here with your hands on your chest, noticing your hand touching your hand and your hand touching your body. Noticing the heartbeat. And then relax the hands down by your side. Okay. We're going to inhale, arms out to the side, all the way up. As you exhale, float your hands back down and come halfway forward. Soften the knees. Reach your hands back behind you. As you inhale, bring your hands back up. You're going to press out through the heels to lift yourself back up. Exhale all the way back down. Oh, just halfway down. Sorry. Inhaling up. Feel that pressure in the heels. Exhale halfway down. Last one. Inhaling up. This time we're going to go all the way down. Exhale all the way down. And you can take your hands down towards your toes. Or maybe you want to put your hands on your knees. Maybe you put your hands on your shins. Whatever you reach. And of course, always the option to use a block here to help feel stable. Keep your knees nice and soft. And make this about your spine, releasing. On your exhales, still gather the belly. Still feel that pressure in your low belly on your exhales in this posture. But let your spine release. So the crown of your head is pulling down, kind of, what's it called when they put you on the thing where they hang you upside down? Yeah, yeah, stuff like that. I want to say traction, but that's the other thing. Is that something else? Yeah, it's that kind of feeling where it's just like making all this delicious space between a vertebrae. So think about that while you're hanging here. And yeah, it stretches the hamstrings, but really focusing on the spine. On your next inhale, making sure your knees are soft, bring your arms out to the side. Let your elbows lead the way. And inhale all the way up. And exhale, float the hands back down. Taking a pause here. We're going to stay standing. And notice how your hands feel. All the elevation change. Maybe you feel a little pressure in the fingers. Maybe you feel the tingling, the heat. Notice how the head feels. Okay, and we're going to step our feet apart, wide legs, and just a little bit more than shoulder. So whatever feels comfortable here. And let's take a moment and concentrate on breath again. So soften the knees, just a tiny bit, almost like a micro bend so that you feel it, but I don't see it. And inhale here. Exhale, feel the belly pull in. Really complete the exhale. And exhale, belly pulls in. One more. Now we're going to turn the foot to face the window. So that foot turns out. The other one will turn in just slightly. Keep your hips nice and open to face me. Hands are hanging down by your side. And what you want to do is line up the heel of the toes facing out with the arch of the foot that's facing. So your toes on the back foot are 12 o'clock, and this was, what is that, 9 o'clock? Is that right? Whatever. We use digital clocks nowadays. There's a clock on the wall. I'm just kidding. Okay, so as you inhale, you're going to bend the front knee. Float your arms out to a T and look over the front hand. As you exhale, feel the belly gather and float yourself back to center. Inhale out into posture, making sure that the upper body is not moving here, just the knee is bending, and then exhale back down. Inhale, well, the upper body arms are moving, but I mean your torso. So there's no reaching forward. Exhaling down. Very good. Inhale into posture, and we're going to stay here. As you exhale, just feel the belly gather. When you inhale, think about reaching out through your fingertips. Think about reaching out through the crown of your head. Think about pressing your knee back out over your toes. Exhale, belly draws in. One more inhale here. And exhale back to center. Turn both feet to face the front and take a little pause. Keep your knees in that micro bend, but you can soften through the belly and just look down or close your eyes. And notice the difference between one side and the other. All right, then we'll turn the other foot out. Making adjustments as needed. Keeping the hips facing forward. Arms are down. We're going to float into it. Working with the breath. Inhale. Soften the knee. Load the arm out. And exhale back in. We only bend the knee that faces the bathroom door. Inhaling up. Very good. Exhale back down. Nice and slow. Feeling the belly firm on the exhale. Inhale floats it out. Exhale back down. And now we're going to hold. Still firming that belly on the exhale, but as you inhale, think about length. Think about the fingertips going farther apart, the crown of the head reaching, the knee really wrapping out to go towards that toe. And then exhale, belly firms. Noticing if the breath wants to get shallow here, and that's okay. Last one. As you exhale, bring it back to center. Turn and face front. And we'll do our pause. Maybe you feel more evened out. You can feel from one side to the other. This is also a good opportunity to notice if you have any issues on one side more than the other side, if there's something that's bothering you. Okay, now, keeping that micro bend, we're going to take the backs of our hands and place it on the sacrum. So your palms are facing out. Notice how that feels for a moment. And this can be your happy place. You can stay here and feel really good. It's still opening your chest. Your shoulders are still rolling back. But if it feels easy and you want to go a little bit farther, you could take your hands and clasp them together behind your back. Just notice how that feels. And again, if it's too much strain, don't do it. But a little bit of strain is good. So you decide. The bones kind of pulling away from each other. Take a nice deep inhale. Lift the chest. Exhale, soften the knees. Hinge at the hips. Come halfway down. Inhale, pressing into the heels to push yourself back up. Exhale forward. Just halfway. Inhale, lift. So you should feel your glutes activate and turn on as you Inhale back up. Exhale, belly is still firming. And inhale, press it back up. Then we're going to hold. And exhale over. Keep your knees nice and soft here. Bend them as deep as you want. The more you bend them, the more effort there is, but a little bend is nice. And just inhale here. Think about stretching your hands behind you. If the back of your hands are on your sacrum, just think about shoulder blades pulling together. As you exhale, kind of soften through the shoulders and the arms and pull the belly in. Inhale, chest expands. Exhale, belly firms. On your next inhale, lifting back up. And exhale, release. Bring your arms back down by your side and close your eyes or just look down. And just notice how you feel. Okay, we're going to turn our foot back into our warrior two position for the first side again. We're just going to inhale right on up into it. Exhale here. Take a moment and look down at your knee. Make sure that it's tracking over the toes. Our tendency is to have the knee go up in front of the big toe. So you want to press open so that your knee is in the right position. On your next inhale, take your front palm and reach it up towards the ceiling and your back hand comes down. Doesn't matter which way your hand's facing. And exhale here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this top hand and bring the palm to the back of the neck. And leave the elbow towards the ceiling. If that's a no-go for you because neck pain or shoulder discomfort, just leave the hand back up towards the ceiling. That's fine. And we're keeping it small here. So you're not trying to reach down to your toes with your back hand. Just gently resting on the back leg. And keep breathing. Firming the belly on the exhales. And on your next inhale, coming all the way back through to your warrior two arms. And exhale back to center. Take a pause. Notice how that feels. Feel the whole side body that we just stretched out. Notice the arm on one side will feel different than the arm on the other side. It's subtle, but that's why we have to tune in deeply. Other side. I don't know why my legs get farther and farther apart. Inhale into posture. Take this moment and look down. Notice your knees. The back leg is straight. The front leg is bent. So straight. There you go. And then ribs generally over hips, shoulders over ribs. And then we're going to inhale. Bring that front arm up. And then, if it feels okay for you, take your palm to the back of your neck. Notice that changes the stretch on the side body. It's just fun. You know, we just play with bodies here in yoga class. Firming the belly on the exhale. On your next inhale, spiraling those arms back into your warrior two arms. And exhale back to center. Turn the toes to face front. Take a little pause here. Notice how that side feels. Notice how your arms feel compared one to the other. How's your head feeling? It's nice and warm in here now for sure. Okay, inhale, float your arms out to the side, up to the ceiling. Let your palms kiss. Exhale, arms float all the way around. We're going to come down to the floor. Scoop. And then back out. Inhale up. Just do this a few times. Kiss your palms. And then exhale all the way down. Scoop. Inhale up. And exhale down. Just centering out, evening back up. And this time we'll stay standing. Just bring the arms down. Take your feet back together. Short pause. Inhale, hands come straight up. Bring your palms together. Exhale down through heart center and start to bend the knees. Hinge at the hips, lift the low belly, and sit back into the heels. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, firm the belly. Now I'm going to count on the inhales. So breathe with my count. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 1. And out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. In, 4, 3, 2, 1. And out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, hands come up. Stand. And down the center. Take a pause. Notice how that feels. Tune into your quads. Tune into your glutes. But also tune into the breath. How does the breath react? Okay, so we're going to take our right arm, inhale all the way up, bring it across your head to your ear, and pull it over. And just kind of decide what you want to do with the other hand. You can reach those fingers down and deepen the stretch, or you can just stay relaxed with it. Keep that nice soft bend in the knees. On your next inhale, release the hand, head floats to center. Now we'll do the other side. Inhale. And then over, exhale. Maybe you want to reach, maybe not. And releasing on your next inhale. Head comes center. Exhale down. Take a pause and notice how the sides of your neck feel, how your shoulders feel. And now we're going to soften your knees a little bit. Let's make it easier. Inhale, arms to the side. I don't know what just happened. Exhale, we're going to turn and look at the window and take our arms to a T. Inhale back to center, arms come up. Exhale, turn and look at the painting, arms to a T. Inhale back to center. And it's okay if your knees are shifting. It's a little twist. It's kind of awkward to twist standing, but it's a good build up. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the painting. Belly still firming. Inhale through center. And exhale to the window. Well, this is our last round. Inhale through center. And exhale to the painting. Inhale to center. Exhale, just float your arms out and straight down. Take that little pause. Notice how your hands feel. Inhale, lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, bring your chin to your chest. Now I want you to think about your chin like it's a windshield wiper on your chest. So you're going to be saying no. Your chin will go up towards your shoulder and then back through center and up towards the other shoulder. We're stretching out the back of the cervical spine, nice and slow. And the slower you go, the more you can really notice those little tiny muscles in the back of your neck. So don't think about swinging around from ear to shoulder. Think about keeping the face towards the ground and making a windshield wiper of your chin. Making it a couple more times. And then end with chin on chest. And then we're going to do the ear to shoulder. So inhale, float your ear up to one side. Exhale, roll it back to center. And inhale, float to the other side. Take it nice and slow. I might be going too fast. Exhale. Inhaling up to one side. Exhaling down to the center. And inhale up to the other side. Noticing any places where you feel caught. And feel free to stop there and wiggle around a little bit. If you feel like you need to use your hands even to pop something back in place or out of the wrong place, whatever. Just take a moment here. Ending with the second side from wherever you started, chin on chest. And on your next inhale, head comes straight up. And if you can, close your eyes. If you just want to look down, that's fine. And notice how your neck feels. Notice how your shoulders feel. You should feel some heat. I know for me, after all this standing, my hands start to feel heavy. So noticing things like that. Noticing even things that we haven't moved, like your ankles and your knees. And now we're getting down. All the way down. L, hands and knees again. So again, option for the cushioning. You know, we're working, but there's no need to suffer, right? So finding that long spine. Exhale, belly draws in. And we're just going straight into it here. So inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. Exhale, we're going to rock it back into the little child's pose. Inhale, back up, lift the head, lift the chest. Tuck your toes under. Exhale, lift the hips. Maybe your legs straighten, maybe not. Bring your belly to your thighs. Bring your knees back down as you inhale. Lift the head, lift the chest. Untuck the toes. Exhale. Hips find heels. Inhaling back up. Lift your head. Remember, your pelvis doesn't move on this. Stays nice and tucked in. Tuck your toes under. Pressing back. Ears between elbows. Belly towards the thighs. And then bring your knees back down to inhale. Lift the head, lift the chest. Untuck the toes. And exhale, bring your hips over your heels. It's a lot to think about. Last one, and we're going to hold our down dog for just a couple breaths. So inhale all the way up. Tuck your toes under. And exhale into your down dog position. And then think about your knees here. Your knees are bent, probably. They should be a little bit bent. And notice if they look like, if you drew a line out from the center of your knees, if it looks like it would make an X underneath your head, press your knees open so that your knees are tracking straight over your toes. And if you want to pedal here a little bit, that's okay. You don't have to do that. That's totally optional. But just noticing the inhales and firming the belly on the exhales. One more big breath here. And exhaling. On your next inhale, bring your knees down. Inhale. Lift the head, lift the chest. Untuck the toes. Exhale, hips find heels. And head lowers. And then you're going to hold your child's pose. And you can find whatever child's pose works for you. If you want to take your knees apart, bring your hands up underneath your forehead. Whatever you like. Or if you don't like it at all, you can sit. Just take a moment and notice how everything feels. So noticing the spine, the head, the shoulders. All right, now we're going to come on to our belly. Take your time. The tops of the feet are flat on the mat behind you. Knees are flat on the mat behind you. Your feet can either be in line with your hips or a little wider, whatever feels better. And your forehead finds the floor. Take the back of your hands to your sacrum. And I want everybody to start in this position. Once we get into our posture, if you feel like you want to do a bind and clasp your hands, that's fine. We'll talk it through. So as you exhale, feel your belly drawing in and pressing the pubic bone down into the floor. So you really want to think about even the tailbone, which is in no way connected to the floor at all, but you want to think about you're driving it down towards the floor. On your next inhale, we're going to lift our head, lift our chest, and exhale, lower back down, forehead back down. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Option here to take the bind, clasp the hands, and reach them down towards the feet. Exhaling back down. Take your time. We're going to go through several of these. Inhale, lift, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the chest, and exhale back down. You can keep your hands on your sacrum if that feels better. Just make sure that you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. And exhale down. On your next one, wherever you're at, hold in the posture. So inhale up. And as you exhale, soften. Release the belly. Feel the pubic bone driving down towards the ground. Inhale, maybe push a little bit deeper. And exhale, soften. Inhale. And exhale, release. One more time. Inhale to lift. And exhale all the way down. Release your hands from your back. Place your hands up underneath your forehead. And I want you to sway your hips from side to side. Inviting that energy that we just built up through the low back to kind of release. And then find a moment of stillness to feel how your spine feels. And now we flip. We did a lot of chest. You can turn over however you want. I'm going to flip right here. Oh, there's a little heart, a little sparkly heart that didn't get vacuumed up. It's for Valentine's. We've done a lot of chest openers today, y'all. There's a good reason for that. Make sure your block is handy and your blanket. Most of us spend a lot of our time, on a phone, on a computer, with your arms over for driving, right? With your chest all closed up. So today we really opened up through the chest. So as you lay here, let your shoulders kind of melt away next to you and notice how that feels. Turn your palms to face up to open the shoulders even more. We're just going to take a couple breaths, remembering that exhale firms the belly. Okay, now grab your block and your little folded blanket, and you're going to stack them up like that and push them down by your hips. And starting with this position, if once you get there you want to move them, you can, that's fine. So we're going to do just a supported bridge. And the blanket on top of the block just makes it softer. So you're going to lift the hips, slide your block underneath, and lay your hips back on it, finding a place that works for you. And keeping a little bit of firmness in the legs so they're not just flopping around. You want to keep them a little firm, but releasing through the belly. Getting that nice kind of sacral release here. And if this feels easy and you want to turn your block up to the next highest level, you can. There should be very little effort, just the effort to keep the knees kind of gently pulling together. Turning your palms to face up so the shoulders are nice and open. Lift the sternum just a little bit. Tuck the chin down, holding in the energy with a little throat lock, and pull in the pelvic floor. Continue to breathe. Holding the pelvic floor in though. All right, press and lift the hips whenever you feel ready. Slide your stuff out. Slowly lower back down and bring your knees up towards your chest. And then take a couple of Apanasana moves where you take your knees away and then back in at your own rate. And rock from side to side. If you want to make little circles, you can do that also. When you rock from side to side, focus on that sacral area, on that pelvis, going across your hips. The song is awful. She added this. I don't like this song at all. Do you guys agree, or is it just me? Am I moody? I could be. It's the moon. Now it's almost over. So anyway, all right. Keep your right knee up. Take your left leg down. You can either keep the knee bent or straighten the leg all the way. Left hand finds the right knee. And exhale into a gentle twist here. So you're bringing that knee all the way across the body. From here, to keep it nice and relaxed, you can take your block underneath your knee in any myriad of positions, or your cushion, if that's more comfortable. And I kind of like it with the blanket over it. It's softer that way. Well, just as you soften into the twist, maybe you can lower your block a little bit. This time, and for the first time, as you exhale, release. No more belly firming. Just letting everything go. Reaching that right arm out behind you to a T. And maybe you want to turn your head to look over the right shoulder. Coming back up through center. Bring your right knee up. Bring your left knee up. Take your right leg down. Take your time. Go slow. Notice how it feels in the hips. And then twist. Bringing your block or your cushion or nothing, whatever. Left arm out to a T. And maybe you look over the left shoulder. And really soften through the belly. So we're kind of like, we're wringing out the organs. When I taught my last Wednesday class, my special Wednesday class, Emily, you know the one I do? I told him, I was like, you guys have seen like wringing out a washcloth, right? We're doing that with your organs. You know, energetically and kind of physically. We're wringing them out. And then bring the knee back up towards your chest, rolling back onto your back. Both knees come up. And before you start to move, just keep your hands over your knees, close your eyes, and notice the spine. Then as you inhale, notice that you need space. And the knees start to float farther away. Hands stay connected. As you exhale, knees come towards your chest. And your knees can be together or apart. Inhale, knees float away. Exhale, knees float in. Do that maybe 2 more times. And then you're just going to kind of release that static feeling, that forward back feeling, and just kind of sway, rock from side to side. Maybe you want to make circles with your knees opposite from each other, going both directions, of course, if you're making circles. Maybe you want to kind of pedal the knees a little bit, so one knee comes in, one knee goes out. Maybe you want to take them open and close. Little butterfly legs, just whatever you need to do to get your back ready for Shavasana. And then you can straighten out your legs when you feel ready. So we start here, see how it feels. If this is hurting your low back, put that big cushion up underneath your knees so that you can have some support and rest. Perfect. And y'all stay laying down. I will sit up so that I can talk and change the music. And as you start to find a position that's comfortable for you, bring your awareness first into your breath. Let's see, maybe this one's better. Yeah, this is good. All right. So turn your palms to face up if that's okay for your shoulders, so we can kind of continue to focus on that heart opening, chest opening that we've been doing for our practice today. And so we did do a lot of chest openers. So take a moment and really bring your awareness into that space, your pectoral muscles, your ribs, your sternum, your scapula across your back, and the thoracic spine. And then also turn inward, deeper into the body, noticing how that feels in the heart space, in the center of your chest. Watching the breath move. And from that space, with each exhale, start to feel like a wave of relaxation spreading from the center. So first it spreads up into the shoulders, down into the lower part of the ribs, the upper belly. Then you exhale, the neck starts to release, the throat releases, the upper arms down into the navel. Then your next exhale, your jaw releases down the whole arm and into the lower belly. Next exhale comes up into the cheeks, down into the hands and into the pelvis. Next exhale through the eyes. Notice the arms, down through the tops of the legs. Next exhale, the brow releases down through the knees. And then exhaling down through the rest of the legs. And then down through the ankles and the feet. Feeling the whole body get heavy, like it's sinking or melting into the floor. And then take a moment and be aware of the breath. Watch the breath coming in. Watch the breath going out. And we'll just take a few moments here, listening to the music, listening to the sounds in the environment, listening to your breath. And if your mind begins to wander, it's what it's supposed to do. Become aware of that, witness it, and bring your attention back into your body, into the breath. Take a deep inhale. Exhaling completely. Really taking time with it, letting the exhale finish all the way out. And then inhaling again deeply. Imagine that oxygen rushing into your body sending it to each cell exactly where it needs to go. And as you exhale, imagine sending out all that is not serving you. One more deep inhale. Drawing in that healing oxygen that your body needs and knows what to do with. And exhale everything out. Not serving your best and highest good right now. And then start to find some movement. Wiggle your fingers, maybe. Wiggle your toes. Maybe stretch the body a little. And then settle back into a position. You can either lie on your side or you can stay on your back. And just sending some gratitude. Some gratitude to your body, this amazing vessel that's capable of all these amazing things. Does so many things we don't even have to worry about. For your time today, for taking this time for yourself. Whatever else you can think of. Gratitude is so fun. It's never ending. And then when you feel ready, gently bring yourself up. On an inhale, take your time. Thank you so much for coming. Namaste. Nap time. Or not. Maybe you get energy. I don't know. Maybe that was nap time. Thank you for being here. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye.